Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the American Sports Connection. I am your host, the one and only Joey Railroads. Here, my buddy Raga. How you holding up, dude?
Good, man. Frozen. A little bit cold over here.
Hell yeah, we got to get a hashtag going for you. Make Raga great again.
Yeah, please. Yeah, just make Rygal's arm work again. Let's get that trending somewhere. So what's up?
Oh, just trying to make it, man. Like you said, we're in the freaking ice box here in the Northeast.
Bro, it's supposed to be 60 degrees on Sunday.
I know. Freaking
It was 8 degrees yesterday.
Weather.
Yeah, when I was out last night for dinner, it was 8 degrees, and I think it was like 2 degrees below zero with the wind chill factor.
I'll tell you, and I laughed because I had to go to my car to pick my kid up from school, and I literally have to go down like 3 steps to get to my car, and I'm like a granny. I was literally like holding both sides of my rail, going down like 1 step at a time so I didn't hit any fucking ice or something.
Well, I would do the same thing, man. We're getting old. Like, our fucking bodies are not, what they used to be.
You better believe it, dude. Alright, so we're going to start about wrestling this week. What did you think of Raw?
I wasn't too thrilled with Raw. You know, I mean, like, other than that, I like the ending. I really like the ending. I thought it was kind of weird in the beginning when they were celebrating so early. Like, I knew something was going to happen. But I thought the ending was classic, like WWE. But I don't really remember much of the rest of the show. That was the thing with Charlotte was this week, or was that last week?
No, they just had a hype video.
Oh, okay. I like the stuff that they did with the New Day and stuff. But other than that, it was the go home before the pay-per-view.
I actually thought it was one of the better Raws they've had in some time.
Well, yeah, I guess I'm just getting so fed up with a lot of Raw. I don't know. NXT is so much better consistently.
I was going to say, like, I really enjoyed that both New Day three-way matches, the triple threats they had. They were really good. The main event was very good.
Yeah, that was one of the better ones that I've seen.
And even the filler wasn't, like, too bad.
No, I like that they had Jack Gallagher on there.
Yeah.
Oh, you were there, so you probably remember a hell of a lot better than I do.
I will say this, and I told you this, that WWE edits the live audience.
Oh, absolutely.
And people are like, oh, how can they edit a live audience? You don't understand. It's not live. It's on like a 8 to 10 second delay.
That and you can do it live. What you do is you turn off certain microphones, because people don't realize, like, there's very cheap microphones that'll pick up any sound, and then you have directional microphones. And if I'm sitting in front of it, you'll hear me. If you're sitting off to the side, you'll almost not hear anything you're saying.
Right.
Even if we're speaking at the same volume. So WWE, on top of video, is also invested tremendously in audio. They know which arena things to turn off so that you don't hear what's actually going on in the arena. And you can do that in live.
Yeah, because when I was there live, Roman Reigns was booed out of the bit. Like, it was crazy loud boos. And when I came home, I was like, you know what, let me just rewatch this segment to see how it, like, if there was a difference. Dude, it sounded like he was being cheered.
Yeah. It's like, unless you've been to a live event and you've experienced it, it's a very hard thing to understand. Because I kept saying, like, the same thing at SummerSlam, like how loud things were. And I don't think people were believing me, because it doesn't look that way at all on TV.
Unless you've, like you just said, unless you've been there live, you wouldn't understand it.
Yeah, no, like, it's a weird feeling to know you heard one thing.
What was crazy is that crowd went, like, insane when Roman Reigns held both those titles up at the end of the show. That's like, they almost did like a Daniel Bryan. No.
Yeah, I don't know. I've heard. I mean, like, I'm so. This is why I've stopped reading anything online regarding spoilers, because in the last week I've heard there's going to be a triple threat with Owens as the champion. I've heard that Reigns is going to win the title this weekend, and then I heard that's not going to happen. I mean, there's just been so much change, and it's just like I wish people would stop trying to predict it. You don't know. Nobody knows. Vince doesn't know yet. Yeah, for the most part, yeah. Just fucking be a fan. Stop trying to be the booker man.
I will tell you the one thing that made me laugh about Raw is like what they do on commercial breaks.
What? They do different things.
Like it was funny when Sami Zayn was in the ring and Mick Foley came out, which eventually led to their segment where Strowman's gonna fight Zayn at the pay-per-view. It was
I thought that was kind of stupid though. That whole scene.
It was they were just both in the ring, and it was like no lights were on them, and they just kept like walking back and forth in the ring. It was funny until they came back from commercial.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the. I mean, like, I like the idea of the segment, but like Ava Marie, like, oh, come on, like nobody, in their right mind would ever believe that. You know, I mean, you could have said Bo Dallas. I mean, like. I don't know. Maybe I'm being big.
And I can agree with what Lance said. Even though I was at a long distance, Braun Strowman is a frighteningly large human being.
Oh yeah, he's very large. He's a very scary large human being.
I mean, I wasn't even like super close, and I'm like, dear God, this guy's big.
Oh no, man. I mean, like, everybody wants to shit. I mean, and I don't mean you or anybody in the group, but like a lot of people want to shit over how green he is. But who's to say that if he doesn't really put the time in, he can't end up being like a great big man? No big men were born knowing how to wrestle.
Exactly.
I mean, like, the guy legitimately had like 7 matches before he debuted.
And the thing is, dude, if you've heard him out of character, he's actually like a charismatic, funny guy.
Yeah, I think I told you to go watch to go listen to the Talk is Jericho, right?
Yes.
Where they were, it was him and the Club. And he's just a big fucking country boy, man. He's just a big North Carolina country boy.
He really is. But that's really all was exciting for Raw. Now, I wanted to ask you this question, though. With New Day beating 4 teams in one night to break the record, do you think that was like a fuck you to Demolition?
No. I mean, I think this whole thing is a fuck you to Demolition with them beating it, but I don't think that the way it played out. I think that a lot of people expected, like people like me, expected them and knew about the insider reason as to why, and they wanted to kind of like, well, wait a second, what if they do take it off of them? Because smart fans also know that Vince also tends to not want to give people like the expected then, unless it's Roman Reigns. So I was actually like, oh shit, they're gonna win, and then I was like, maybe they won't win. So that was cool. Like, that I enjoyed, was not knowing for certain. And you could have given it to either of the teams, because the second match was Owens and Jericho and
Rollins and Reigns.
Oh yeah, Rollins and Reigns. So I mean, like, there could have been compelling reason for either of those two.
Oh hell yeah!
I mean, it wasn't just like they just threw 2 guys in there. Also, like, I really think that it's going to be Sheamus and Cesaro who take the titles.
Yeah, I agree with you.
This weekend.
All right, dude. What did you think of SmackDown this week?
Again, I mean, nothing, earth-shattering. I kind of skipped through a lot of SmackDown. I watched more of 205 Live. But I guess it's hard because it wasn't live, so I watch it online sometimes, and I don't always know if every segment is on there. But no, I didn't hate it. I guess AJ isn't cleared, so they had to do the whole
I have the flu.
Yeah, but I think that they're just running out of time now. I think anything that they may have wanted to do is going to be over.
I like the main event with the 4-way elimination match.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a nice surprise that they threw Harper in there.
Yeah, I don't think overall he gets the the attention he deserves. He's fucking amazing for a big weird guy.
He is one of the most underrated big guys they have. He could work a good match with anybody.
Yeah, absolutely. And I liked AJ on commentary.
Yeah. That
He's
was
showing...
really the only thing I remember. Oh, no. The other thing I remember was the Battle Royal, and that was kind of okay.
With Zack Ryder winning and then getting hurt?
Yes.
Yeah, well. Zack Ryder's also going bald. If you really want to upset Zack Ryder, just tell him you saw his bald spot on Twitter.
Oh, wow.
He literally wears this stuff that, you have to, it's like paint for your hair. I know this people...
that the Ron Popeil guy used to sell.
I guess so, because...
It's you shake it up like hairspray and put it on.
Yeah, it's basically like fucking spray paint for the hair.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I forgot what match it was, but Pat Buck was talking about it because, apparently Zack Ryder is a big fucking bully in real life, and will because they have a group text, and he'll say something, or he'll post a picture, and immediately Zack's like, your hair's all fucked up, or I can see your bald spot. And he's like, come on, man, I'm on a boat with my fiance. What are you talking about? But apparently I tweeted him, Pat Buck has better hair than you when they were going up to Canada, and he was like, no, absolutely not. So if you message him and say, I saw your bald spot on SmackDown, I'm sure he wouldn't be too happy. And you can see it. After he wins, he leans over and he has the Shawn Michaels kind of bald spot.
Ooh.
Yeah, with that one patch of hair in the middle still there and it starts going bald around it. Yeah.
That's bad. All right, Lance says in the chat that Harper always reminded him of Taker because he could have good matches with anybody.
Yeah, see, I don't know. I agree. I don't know enough about Brody, but he also kind of reminds me about the little bit that I know about Bruiser Brody.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot about Brody though. Yeah, as far as
that's for sure.
But yeah, he can work with anyone.
And I've told you this before off air. I said, dude, I know his gimmick isn't work, but the facial features and expressions he gives off are frightening at times.
Oh yeah, he's a scary dude. He's scary, but
just makes it unsettling.
He's also a very smart dude.
Yes.
I heard him
do an interview one time out of character, and he's a really smart guy.
So the Talk is Jericho or the Austin show he was on.
Yeah. He was on Jericho's show.
Yeah, he got the name Brody Lee, which is his indie name, off of Brody from the movie Mallrats, and that's his son's name, I believe, because of that.
I remember this now that you say that. And
Jason Lee was Brody.
Yeah, do you remember on Jericho's podcast he said why Vince took the title off of him?
No.
I'll never forget this, and I shook my head. He said the reason Vince took the Intercontinental title off him was because he didn't speak with a Louisiana accent.
I didn't hear that. I don't.
Because he was with the Wyatts, and Harper tried to say, well, dude, he's just because Bray's from Louisiana, he's doesn't mean I need to sound like I'm from the South.
Yeah, well.
Which I thought was crazy in itself. But that's really all I can remember that was interesting from SmackDown.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if there was anything with Daniel Bryan or The Miz. What the fuck went on with
The Miz was in the main event.
Yeah, oh, that's right. It was Miz, Ziggler, Harper, I forget who the fourth one was.
Yeah, and then there was that other shit with Natalya and
Bella.
Yeah, Nikki Bella, and then the world title thing with Alexa and Becky, which was really not interesting.
I mean, I like Alexa, but I mean, I don't care about Becky. I have it from a long time ago.
All right, well, we'll move on then. What did you think of 205 Live?
It's a good show. I like it. It's well put together. I think that it's interesting how they're highlighting everybody. I think it's cool for some of them to be able to be on both the big shows and 205 Live.
Yeah, I think it's funny because Lince Dorado, they have him billed as like from Puerto Rico now, right?
Yeah. But
What's
don't they say
funny
that he's from
is-
Camden?
Yeah, he's really from Camden, New Jersey. One of the shows, indie shows that I go to, one of the refs, he's like, yeah, I used to like wrestle with him when we were like teenagers.
Well, for a while they were introducing him from Camden, New Jersey.
Yeah, because that's what caught my ear one day. I wasn't like paying attention, and they're like from Camden, New Jersey, and my head turned around like, what? But I really liked Dorado. I guess maybe they're setting something up. That match was why they both had like the double count out.
Yeah, and I also like Mustafa Ali a lot.
Yes, he's a good heel.
Yeah, and he's very athletic. He's a good worker.
And I thought it was cool that they had Gallagher wrestle Gulak. That was, pretty good match, even though they didn't go too long.
I am not a fan of the Bollywood Boys. I think I was a week ago. I'm not anymore. They just piss me off. I just got a good look at them, and I'm like, they just fucking irritate me.
That's funny.
Yeah, I was like, alright, maybe they're going to be like optimistic and hopeful. And I'm like, nope, these guys suck. Fuck these
That's
guys.
funny. And they had a really good main event with Swan and Perkins.
Well, Swan could fucking wrestle anybody. Swan's amazing.
He's a really, really good worker. I was just happy that I was there live to see, because they taped 205 Live before Raw. I didn't have to hear any commentary for 205 Live or Raw.
Who don't you like on 205?
Is it just Ronaldo, Aries, and Corey Graves?
I think so. I think
Ronaldo is starting to annoy me.
Yeah. Not as bad as like Michael Cole
No,
annoyed.
not
but
as bad, but he tries to say like trendy, like hip things, and it just sounds weird.
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean.
Like my good friend mentioned this. He's like, "How many fucking times is he gonna say Mamma Mia?"
Yeah, things like that. Yeah, it's like, bro, you're Canadian and Spanish. Where's Mamma Mia? Like, Mamma Mia is Italian, bro. What the fuck you doing?
I know. I just thought that was weird. I thought it was cool though. They let Perkins win because it kind of gave like the idea that okay, maybe he can win at the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Before we go to NXT, I want to ask your opinion on something because this has been online for a couple days now, and different people have had opinions about it. Did you see the photo with the New Day, Swan, and Sasha Banks?
Yeah, and I don't understand what the fuck the big problem is.
I know, I don't understand what the problem was either.
They're black, and they're saying that they're excellent, so they're saying black excellence. At no point did they say we are better than anybody else. I don't understand why white people have a problem with black people being proud of black accomplishments.
Especially considering for a long, long time, Vince McMahon did not have hardly any black champions.
I mean, like, if a whole bunch of women can say, like, women strong and all this, you can have a whole month for breast cancer and how much we love women. Why can't black people fucking be able to enjoy something? Yeah, none of that said, this is what excellence looks like because we're black.
No.
It's just that fucking white people are racist and they have a problem anytime black people want to make anything personal. But they have no problem with stereotyping what black activity should be. Oh, you're acting black. What the fuck is acting
double standard.
black? But when it's something good and, they can't address it, I mean, you got, a lot of professional achievements right there.
It's crazy.
This fucking country sucks, bro, in every way, shape, or form, and it permeates everything.
Oh, yeah. Alright, bro. What did you think of NXT this week?
I thought it was pretty good. WWE did them, so I'm kind of already over Nakamura and Joe. But I think it was cool. It set things up for next week, even though I already know who wins.
I thought the matches, though, they had for the qualifying matches were good.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I had no complaint whatsoever.
I was surprised, honestly, that, well, I still call him Biff Busick, but Orny Lorcan is starting to actually get the crowd behind him.
That surprised the shit out of me, to be honest with you.
Because I said with that name, it's like the fucking kiss of death.
Yeah, man. Can you imagine, like, champion Orny Lorcan?
It's just so weird.
It's not even like a rare name that like you occasionally hear, like Declan or something like that. It's like O-N-E-Y, like that nigga got 3 out of 4 vowels in his first name.
I can see Vince now. Let's name him Orny Lorcan.
I mean, like, hopefully that means something to him. Like, imagine showing up and you're like, but then again, he had a stupid wrestling name to begin with, Biff. So I don't know if that's like a big downfall.
I know.
Oni. But like, imagine just getting that on a piece of paper. Your name's gonna be Oni Lorcan. Okay.
Yeah. It almost reminds me of when Stone Cold told the story about he wanted like a different name, you know, and he got all these awful names like Frost McFreeze or something.
Yeah, Otto Von Frost or some shit like that.
Like
yeah.
Awful names.
Yeah, I'm usually okay. Yeah, like you call them what they are, but I'm trying to fucking like they're all jumbling up together now. But yes, that's exactly it.
Yeah, it was just like ooh.
And he said the same thing about like as great as No Way Jose is. Eventually, they're gonna have to change that fucking name because you can't do shit with No Way Jose. Like, how do you book that?
Yeah, I agree with you, but I will say this, and me and you talked about this, he's actually pretty good in the ring.
Oh, he's a great worker. He's going to be limited by his fucking name.
Yep.
How do you interview him? Hey, No Way.
Or just do you drop in and say, hey, Jose?
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, like, like, imagine if his name was like, what, Steve Austin?
Yeah. It's just...
Or Fang McFrost.
Yeah, there you go. I liked, on NXT, the way they made Eric Young lose.
Yeah, I like the fact that they're not having them lose clean.
Yeah. And, like, Nikki Cross is, like, the craziest one out of the whole bunch.
I'm so over that. I think that is so stupid. I said that from that first match she had where it was so over the top where I was like, alright, this is gay. Like, I don't like this at all. Like, okay, we get it. It's wrestling. Like, he's crazy. I got that.
Yeah. I want your opinion. Is Joe going to come up to the main roster now because he has, like, nowhere to go?
Absolutely. I heard one idea thrown away around that. They're going to have, and again, I don't believe this at all, but they're going to have Ellsworth win and then have Samoa Joe come out and challenge him. And
that
take
would
the top.
make no sense.
That would be ridiculous. I mean, other than it being a fast track to AJ versus Samoa Joe.
Right, but I don't know. I would just have an issue with this guy never losing to AJ Styles.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely.
That would be my major issue. Now, I wanted to talk to you about this because you saw this. I have to catch up on it. TNA last night.
That was the greatest shit. The second hour was the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. It really was. If you can suspend your disbelief enough to believe that two almost 300-pound men can stand there and punch each other in the face and nobody takes any damage, then there's no reason why you can't enjoy this.
And
It's
Shane Helms in it?
yes, as Sugar Shane Helms, and as the Hurricane.
Oh my god.
At one point, he gets thrown into the Lake of Reincarnation with the other two from the Helms dynasty, who is Everett and what the fuck's the other guy's name? Oh my god, I like him so much. It's Andrew Everett and the one that they call the Carolina Caveman. I can't remember his name at the moment. It's gonna bother me because I really like him. But they started dancing like 3 count, and then Helms is like, "You're not Shannon. You're not Evan," and then they both super kick him, and then he comes back a little bit later as the Hurricane.
That's hilarious.
The Rock and Roll Express were there.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the Express that rock and roll. That's what Matt Hardy kept calling them.
I heard that Matt Hardy makes fun of Triple H in during one segment.
Yeah. When the Hurricane comes back, him and Hardy are standing there, and they pin the Helms dynasty, those 2 guys, and then they bury them literally with shovels, and he's like, "Oh, we've used shovels in the way that the man with 3 H's would be very happy." And then they both just look at the camera and smile.
That's funny.
The man of 3 H's.
Or how he says Vince's last name always makes me laugh.
Meek Mahan.
There you go.
Mr. Meek Mahan. And then his son, Maxwell, has a pinfall victory over Rockstar Spud.
I saw the video of that.
And Rockstar Spud's tag team partner was Swoggle.
Oh my god.
Who ended up turning on him because he kept patting him on the head. He gave him a powerbomb and tadpole splash.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, Crazy Steve snapped some dude's neck, and then Abyss smashed some dude's head in with a brick.
Oh my god.
Yep, so there were 2 murders last night during this Apocalypto as well as firework battles.
It just sounds nuts.
The Helms dynasty beating up a boat. Like a little, lifeboat. Yeah, it was great. ODB made a comeback. Some chick was supposed to fight Vanguard 1, but apparently drones can't fight women.
I always liked ODB.
One dirty bitch? Me too.
I thought she wasn't too bad in the ring.
Yeah, she's a tough broad, bro.
Yeah, well, she's a bartender in real life.
She's trailer trash in real life.
Yeah, well, because she was saying like she would have to like bartend in between like TNA tapings because they weren't fucking paying her.
Probably bartend during TNA tapings.
That too, yeah.
Only Lorcan.
Yeah, there you go. Name drop. Alright, dude, I have the card, because I forgot. This Sunday's the pay-per-view for Raw. I have the card in front of me. I'm going to go over it and get your thoughts on each match.
Okay.
Alright, they just actually added this one that I'm going to start off with. It's the New Day versus Cesaro and Sheamus.
I think it's time for New Day to drop the title.
I absolutely agree with you. They're going to do the exact same thing they did with Nikki Bella. Nikki Bella broke the record on a Raw, and then she lost the title at the next pay-per-view.
Yeah, I definitely believe that. I mean, unless they want them to become the second all-time, because right now they are the 3rd all-time longest title holders, period, other than Moolah, because that doesn't get counted in, because the title didn't exist for a number of years. But it's San Martino and the world title, and then Lex Luger with the S title.
Yeah.
It's fun. They're like 40 or 60 days away.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know what they're gonna do, but I personally think like they're gonna take the titles off them.
Yeah, I don't think there's enough material for them. I mean, they've really beat everybody.
Yeah. All right.
So
Next, we have Braun Strowman against Sami Zayn in a 10-minute time limit match.
I like this. They're bringing back an old idea.
This actually reminds me of the old WCW NWA TV title matches.
Yeah, with a 10-minute time limit. Now, how do you see this ending, Mel? How do you see that? Why did they add this stipulation? Is it going to be Braun Strowman beating them up for 10 minutes and Sami not giving in? Is it going to be like a Tommy Dreamer? Thank you, sir, may I have another?
I think that's where they're going.
I think so, too. I think they want to establish him. Because if they really do want him in the main event, like I'm reading, then they have to make him credible.
Oh, my son loves him, but I understand completely what you're saying.
Oh yeah, I mean, of course, he's a big happy, like, yay, dun, 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 what's there for a kid not to like? I mean, he got a silly fucking hat. Kids love silly hats. I mean, he comes out, he's happy to be there, and like he does his little fucking shuffle step, and hey guys, I'm Sami Zayn, and hey,
and he can sing along to the song, and
yeah, there's no word. Dun, 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 dun. Like, okay, I mean, I can understand why kids would like him. That's cool. The same way as I understand why kids like Roman Reigns, but you got to make them believable. So I think that's what they're doing now.
Right. All right. Moving on, we have Rich Swann versus T.J. Perkins versus the Brian Kendrick for the Cruiserweight Championship.
I hate saying this because I don't know if it makes any sense, but this is kind of the way I see it going. I kind of feel like Perkins turns heel. I don't know.
That would be kind of interesting.
I've kind of gotten that vibe,
Yeah, I have too.
Or it could just be like he's really like a moody bitch, because I heard that in TNA that like but then again, I don't think he'd make it to TV if he was really pouting on TV.
That's true.
Apparently he was very hard to work with in TNA.
Or what I was going to say is he's kind of just showing that edge that I want the title, even though you're like my friend, I'll do whatever it takes.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting, but I think Rich Swann's going to win it though.
I do too, because he's one of the few guys right now in the Cruiserweight division that's actually over.
He's the whole package too.
Oh, he's fantastic to watch.
But I mean, my favorite by far, especially after Raw, was Jack Gallagher. When he came out and he's like, as a gentleman, I am here to announce my intentions to interfere in your match. I mean, like, stuff like that. I cracked up so much.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Or the other one I really liked, and I saw a video of it online, where he like, does the sign of the cross when he looks like he's going to go, like, do a dive outside of the ring, and he just, like, steps through and then jumps off with a double axe handle.
Yeah.
Like, things like that. But Swann really impresses me because he can do that jumping like 450 in the without having to go off the ropes.
Yeah, that is fucking ridiculous. I mean, I can't do that at all. Like, I couldn't do that without that.
I couldn't do that when I was 18.
Yeah, no. I'm just thinking he's doing it fucking standing on the floor. No fucking 450, get out of here. I can flip and land on my back.
Yeah.
That's not even a 180. Maybe a 180.
Yeah, that's really impressive that he can do that.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Alright. Next we have Sasha Banks versus Charlotte Flair in a 30-minute Iron Man match for the Women's Championship.
The only WWE, I mean, like, I don't know. This is such a hard one, because there's the rumors that they want her to have, like, that pay-per-view title. I think Sasha should be heel and have the title.
Yeah.
No,
I don't know. Well, before we talk more about that, Lance said that he did a 450, but it was when he fell down the stairs.
Yeah. Yeah, I can pretty much concur and agree with that assessment.
But this is the thing. The package they had to hype up the women's match they said this is the end. There's no more between these two. Like, whoever wins, they're not getting a rematch. Like, if it's just for by chance, say if Charlotte wins, Sasha's not getting a rematch. This is it.
Other than Charlotte, who else is a heel on Raw? And Dana Brooke.
That's about it.
I think Charlotte's keeping the title. Because now they can do Charlotte versus... I think Charlotte's going to take the title. They could do Charlotte versus Bayley. And is that really all that they have? Who the fuck else does Raw have?
Alicia Fox.
Based on this information, I think Charlotte wins.
Because the other person they have is Paige, and Paige obviously isn't wrestling anytime soon.
No, she's not.
That's all I can really think of. Oh, Emma.
I heard she hurt her leg. I don't know how true that was.
I don't know. They were supposed to debut her on Monday, and then they just never did.
Yeah, I read she supposedly got hurt.
Oh, shit.
Like, she supposedly, tweaked her knee and she's out for a couple weeks, but that could just be bullshit because they want to get past the angle with Sasha and Charlotte, which I could understand totally.
Lance is saying he thinks that WWE has soured on Bayley.
Possibly. I don't know. I just don't think that they can do that much with people right now. They're only really giving them one segment on Raw. The women on SmackDown, they're definitely giving more time, in my opinion. Even though the women on Raw is so much better. I mean, they get the biggest segments, but it's a very limited amount of stuff on Raw. Maybe they're waiting for Emma to come back.
It's possible. Alright, next we have Big Cass versus Rusev.
I think Big Cass is going to go over. I think this is going to be his chance. I think this is going to be the start of them breaking up Enzo and Cass.
Yeah, I think this is his test to see, he had that test in the match that Owens won the belt, but this is more pay-per-view, show me what you can do, one-on-one.
Yeah, and Vince has a hard-on for him, so...
That too. Although I think Rusev is a really good heel.
So do I. I think Rusev is one of the purest heels that we've had in a long time. Him and Miz they put up there.
Dude,
two of the best heels.
He had me laughing on Raw because he lost his accent for a minute there.
Who?
Rusev.
Rusev has an accent in real life.
He started talking like normal, like you and me, for a good 30 seconds.
Oh, that may have been just coincidental because he has a accent. Because they have them do social media stuff like video and stuff, talking about Total Divas, and she's completely out of character. She's CJ Perry. They call her Lana, but she's a California girl. And WWE shares this.
Yeah.
I noticed it last night. They were doing a question and answer, and I was like, "Oh, that's fucking interesting."
Yeah, they said he believes Big Cass has a big time future.
I think he really could. He's a big athletic man, even though he shoots 6'8". He's not 7 foot.
No. And he was just saying the same thing. Rusev is one of the most underrated guys they have.
Yeah, he works fantastic.
But I agree with you. Cass is going to win. I'm figuring Enzo might come out and help him or something.
I think they'll give it to him clean over it.
Huh. That would be interesting.
Because a clean win will do a lot for
yeah.
Cass. I don't think a loss will do a hell of a lot for Rusev.
No, not really at this point.
Or maybe not completely clean. I just don't see it being outside into heel tactic for babyface to win. I think that they need him to win as strong as possible.
Right. All right. Next we have Chris Jericho versus Seth Rollins.
Rollins. I think somehow Kevin Owens is gonna fucking spoil it.
I kind of felt that way too. Like he was going to come out and help, and he actually causes Jericho to lose.
Yeah, I could definitely see that
It
happening.
kind of like furthers this breakup that's, slowly unfolding.
Absolutely.
All right, and the main event, Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns for the Universal title.
I'd like to see Owens retain, but they've booked him so weak so far, so I really don't know. They've made him look like...
I kind of think he's going to retain because the way they booked him on Raw, where they had like is Roman really going to do it? And usually when they do that, like, the guy retains.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
But I could be totally wrong, but I think either way it'll be interesting. But if they do that just to put 2 belts on him because Conor McGregor has 2 belts would be so fucking stupid.
Especially since Conor McGregor doesn't have 2 belts anymore.
No, he lost the other belt.
No. He gave it up. He restricted
that's what it was, excuse me.
Yeah, he gave up the lightweight.
Yeah.
Middleweight.
I was hoping for WrestleMania, I don't think it's going to last that long now, but if they had Owens and Jericho at Mania.
I think a lot of it hinges on how long Jericho is planning on being around.
Because I read, and you probably read the same thing, that he's on a like month-to-month deal.
Yeah, and I don't think WWE is going to put the title on somebody who may not be there next month.
Oh, I agree. He was like the second most over guy at Raw.
Yeah, he's a fucking legend, man.
He was like way over. I'm trying to think who would probably be the most. It wasn't Owens, because he was they were like 50-50 on him.
Maybe he's finally getting the booze that he should be getting.
Yeah, it was weird. I thought they would have cheered him more because, Phillies usually they like the heels, kind of like New York.
Yeah, no, I agree fully. That's one place that I expect heels to be cheered. Who knows?
Oh, Lance, thank you for bringing that up. I almost forgot. Brock Lesnar, it came down that he is officially suspended for 1 year.
From MMA.
Yes.
Yes.
Lance
And
said he went from looking like Hogan in the UFC, now he looks like King Kong Bundy. He does, dude. You could see, like, his muscle mass just shrink.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like somebody almost popped a balloon.
Yeah, he looked really different. But that may have also been because he was like, fuck it, I'm jobbing in a minute and fucking 26 seconds. But I've read a couple of things that apparently that was all his idea.
Yeah, I read that too.
Which, from a business point of view, he doesn't take wrestling seriously. He doesn't care.
No, as long as you pay me, I don't care.
He don't give a fuck. Pay him. He knows how much more money there is to get paid in a third match at WrestleMania.
He's a smart businessman where he knows that if this guy beats him, they can make more money at the biggest event of the year.
Yeah, and he knows the fans are going to want it. WWE's going to want to produce it. So they're going to be tied up when he goes, you know what, I don't know if I want to do this. They're going to have to pay him.
Yeah, he's basically going to, strong-arm them in a way.
Yeah, for the most part, he could basically hold them hostage.
And he knows it. It's just, I actually didn't think Brock was going to get suspended. I thought he was going to actually, somehow wiggle out of it.
No, now, that's legit, man. Not with the Nevada State Athletic Commission. No way.
Now, let me ask you a question. Since he was banned by that commission in Nevada, is that countrywide or just in Nevada?
I'm pretty sure other states have like reciprocity. That if you've been, because in that thing that I sent you yesterday when we were looking at the wrestling licenses, one of the questions actually was, are you in violation in any other state?
Okay. And like Lancer said, props to UFC for actually doing it and suspending him.
I don't think they had a choice. I don't know if they really had a choice.
Is it
He may have
because,
gotten
like
medical.
you just said, the commissions, they don't play around?
Yeah, no, he may have gotten a suspension. I mean, because he had a hearing with the Nevada State Athletic Commission. So
I remember that, and then they set a later date for him to like sit and like, I don't know if it's like considered a trial, but like a hearing or whatever.
Yeah, and that was actually coming up supposedly, and that happened, I believe, yesterday. Because first there was a temporary stay where his lawyers had time to get more information and stuff like that. And the hearing, I believe, was yesterday. And that's what they came back with, $250,000, a year suspension, and his win was turned to a no contest. That means that Mark Hunt's loss was changed from a loss to a no contest.
Now, does that mean he gets more money because it was?
I don't know.
I was just curious.
No, I'm saying I really have no idea. I mean, because that was the first thing that I wondered. Because I don't know if Brock got paid on a win contingency or a show contingency. Because some guys will have, say like 50,000 show, 50,000 win. So you can win 100,000, but you're definitely going to make 50. Guys like Brock may have had. I think Brock had like $500,000 just to show. And I don't know if there was a win factor to it. There may have been.
Yeah,
but then
I just wondered because I remember Mark Hunt was speaking out because he said he wanted like more money because of him.
He wanted Brock Lesnar's
dirty.
purse. Yeah. So if you fail your say like a weight test up to 5 pounds, you over 5 pounds, you give up 20% of your purse, regardless of any bonus or any money you make contractually for that fight, whether it's a win-in show or just a show. Your opponent gets 20% of that right off the top.
Okay.
So if you're supposed to get $100,000 and you show up 6 pounds overweight, win or lose, I'm getting 20,000 of that. Straight off the top, regardless of anything else.
Okay,
the most you can get is 80. Yeah, because that's incentive. It's not only do you lose the money, your opponent gets it.
Wow, well, that's a way to keep you at weight.
And here, I just want to give one quick UFC clusterfuck. We both know that McGregor had 2 titles.
Yes.
Now, they created a logjam in the lightweight division. So, what they did is they stripped McGregor of the title. Jose Aldo, the guy he beat with that fucking rabbit punch that KO'd him in 13 seconds.
Yes.
See, in the time that Connor's had this belt and been fighting Nate Diaz and then fought for the middleweight belt, they crowned a interim champion, which Jose Aldo is. So what they said is, Connor's been stripped of the title. Jose Aldo is the new champion because he was the interim champion, but because the main event, Daniel Cormier had to pull out of this last event that they had, so the title fight was off. So they decided, let's have another interim title fight. Even though there's no need for an interim title because they have a champion of that division. So they said it with Max Holloway. I forget who Holloway fought. You know what happened? The guy he fought showed up 6 pounds overweight and therefore wasn't qualified to fight for a title anymore. So it was basically like if Holloway won, he became the interim champion. I think it was Pettis. If Pettis won, nothing happened. He won a fight.
Oh my god.
So
it just sounds like a fucking mess.
Yeah, all they had to do was take the title off of Conor and say the interim champion Jose Aldo, who earned that by fighting for that honor, is now the champion. That's it. And now these 2 guys are going to fight to see who fights Aldo next. No, that's not what they did. They tried to arbitrarily make another champion just to have a championship fight headline a card because the real championship fight had to be called off because the guy got hurt. And then the guy doesn't show up at weight, and it's only half a title fight. Like, only one guy was fighting for the interim title.
Dude, this sounds like WWE shit.
Worse. Can you imagine that? Like there's no champion. The winner of this match becomes champion. Except that if you win, you don't become champion.
Because you're not at weight.
Yeah, because you're 5 pounds too heavy. Which I understand the weight component, but it was just like Dana White deserves this. He just wants to make so much money. You couldn't just have a fight. Say this is number one contender. Make a whole thing about you had to create this artificial. Like, you have a champion. There's no need for a second interim champion. You just made your interim champion. Why do you have a new interim champion? Like, interim of what? There's a champion.
You got a point. All right, Lance said, since we're talking about the UFC, what do you think about Ronda Rousey's next fight?
I think if she sticks to what won her the title, I don't think she's beatable. I don't know what her psyche is, but it's been a year. I'm pretty sure she got over it. I'm sure she saw some therapists. I don't even mean that as a joke. Like, I'm sure she dealt with her first ever loss since the Olympics. And if she goes back to judo, I don't think Nunez has a chance. If she tries to fight, she's going to get beaten up.
Dude, I'll never forget this, because I still tell people this to this day. You told me for, weeks that Ronda Rousey was going to lose that fight.
Yeah, and then it was... Yeah, I remember that. And then right before, when they had the weigh-in, I sent you the video. I was like, bro, look how out of control she looks. Like, there's something not right. Like, if we live... Like, I wish I could go bet on this, because I bet my life savings on Holly Holm. Everybody was like, I can't believe that happened. I was like, I can. I'm like, did you not...
I remember, because as soon as it happened, I said, fucking Rygal. I should have went to the damn... bookie and put, like you just said, your life savings on Holly Holm.
Very rarely will I bet money, man. Like, I'm not a bettor. I know I lose. I mean, like, I gave up with fantasy football. I'm done. I'm never playing again because I'm just no matter what happens, I lose, and I'm tired of it. So I don't bet. But that one was. It was like I looked at it, and she looked to be so unhinged. Like, you look at a fighter, and you could tell
mean, like,
when
very like skittish.
Yeah, she was always kind of like the one egging on everybody else, keeping everybody else on their heels. And Holly Holm was just like, she's the preacher's daughter. Yeah, she's a boxer, but she's like the nicest, most soft-spoken blonde lady, not even that pretty, so she's not even like, like, oh, she's hotter than Ronda. Like, there's nothing for Ronda to be intimidated by. But she kept coming at home like such a fucking cunt, I'm like, wow, there's something really up with this. Like, this isn't normal. She's not in the right state of mind, and
look what happened.
Yeah, she kept saying she was going to try to stand up with her. Why are you going to stand up with a 19-time world boxing champion? 19 times!
And all she did was get her face punched in.
Yeah, punch, fucking kick in the face. If she would have went to judo, that fight would have been over so quickly. And that's the thing. Take somebody down to the mat. She's a Olympian. I don't think people realize, I forgot who said it, that Brock Lesnar could basically throw everybody he got in the ring with around. Everybody. Didn't matter how big. Except for Kurt Angle. And people say Kurt moved Brock around better than anybody else did. And that the difference between a national champion and an Olympic gold medalist is the difference between, like, junior varsity and all-pro college.
Yeah.
There is no comparison. As big and strong and muscular... Kurt Angle in his prime would destroy Brock Lesnar in his prime. No questions asked.
I couldn't agree more. Like Lance said, all Ronda had to do was get her to the ground and get her in the armbar.
Yeah, and if she's that good at getting people into the armbar, I don't see anybody being able to counter it. But she can get anybody off of their feet. Why she chose to try to bang with her, I don't know. But
you said, especially a woman that is a 19-time champion at boxing.
Exactly. She's a kickboxer and a boxer. Why are you going to stand up with somebody like that? You don't pick a fight
with somebody that could just sit there and stick a jab in your face all night.
Especially, like, Ronda is like a pit bull. She's kind of compact. She doesn't have a super long reach.
That's true.
Holly Holm has long, slender legs and long arms. So
yeah,
you're
so
trying
all
to...
she's going to do is keep you at however, close she wants you.
Exactly, and this is what she's good at: finding range and punching you in the face. Like that's not what you're good at. And then
Yeah,
people
it's just,
have,
like I was just saying, I hate to sound like a broken record, but just pop a jab and just keep her at arm's length.
yeah, that's all you have to do. Like when you are that much better than somebody, you stay to your strengths. If they're not trying to go to their strengths, you stay. Like you let them fight your fight, and then you just counter them. Like you just be better at your fight than they can be. That's exactly what happened. She got overzealous. She wildly missed. She lost her composure. She's never professionally been in that situation, and she tried to stand there and bang. On her last couple fights, she had started to start striking. That wasn't going to work against Home.
Nope.
So now,
The hard
you know,
way.
to answer Lance's question, depending on how she approaches the fight, I think that she has a very good chance at regaining the title if she goes back to what brought her to the dance. I think if she tries to stand, I don't think it's going to end good. And I don't know what would happen if Ronda Rousey loses 2 fights in a row. I really don't know what that would do for the UFC, because they've let fighters go for 2 fights before. They probably wouldn't do it to her, but
see how she looks, and I'll say this because she was almost like the Mike Tyson of the UFC from back in the day, where she just like destroyed people, and then she's kind of lost that sense of invincibility after she got beat. So it's like you want to see like where she's mentally at after that.
yeah, and I think it would be a great story for her to get the title back. I think redemption would be a very big storyline for UFC, and they could basically build the whole story of she held the title forever. She lost it, and since then, everybody who's won the title has dropped it as soon as they've picked it up. Nobody's defended it yet.
They could make tons of money off of that, let alone just her coming back.
Yeah, and then when she comes back, the title comes back to her. Like, all of you others got to play hot potato with the title, but now I'm back, and it's 1 year. And it went from Home to Tate to Nunez, and if it goes back to Rousey, that's $1 million story right there.
It is. I couldn't agree more.
You will not hear the end. They're starting to do it now, because I saw one of the ads. They're mentioning, like, with her losing it, and then you hear, like, the voiceover of Home winning, and then you hear the very last seconds of Tate Home, and then you hear the very last seconds of Nunez Tate. Like, just kind of letting the viewer know that the title is, you know, and new, and then it was Ronda talking about coming back. So
Yeah,
they're already going down.
Really good hype for her fight then.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that alone is the story. Other than who she is, it's like no one's defended it yet. I mean, granted, her arch rival has just retired because Misha retired at the end of the last pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And Uriah... Oh, for those who don't know, Uriah Faber's last fight is this weekend. I believe it's this weekend. Fight Night 22, or whatever it is.
Oh,
but
really?
Yeah, he announced it back in October that, you know, he just wants to get out of the fight game. And, you know, he's still young. He's made a lot of money. He's still in good health and stuff, but he wants to move on to other things. And, you know, he doesn't feel in top shape anymore. And I think it's good that fighters and athletes can get out of sports when they feel that they don't feel like they play, that they've set up themselves enough that their body doesn't need to take the punishment. Except baseball players, because fuck, they baseball. You fucking stand around and occasionally run to a ball, and then every 9 guys take a swing at a ball. I mean, come on now. We thought baseball's so fucking tiring. For what? They get bored standing out there. They get sunburned.
There you go. All right, everybody. We're going to get out of here for tonight. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, thumbs up, all that stuff. We'll see you back next week. Have a good night, everybody.